Up, Helen.
Back up?
Yeah, until you disappear. He's into the tube. Ooh. Bye. I'm going and walk it. I don't know whether I can or not. Can you hear me okay? No dark glasses, and I got my dark glasses on. Whoops. Hey, you see the end of the tube? See the end of the tube?
Amazing. Hey, the light's flashing here means you need more light.
Yeah. The light means it's on, but I can see the end of the tube.
Can you?
Oh, no, those are lights. Oh, I see. I'm recording and it's not flashing light now, but we're in the middle of the lava tube and water is dripping on me. Coming up, we're in the stairways leading out of the tube. There goes Helen. I can catch her.
Shut that thing off? Yeah.
It's on. Keep going. Right now, and these are the huge banyan trees. This is called Banyan Drive, right amidst the park, and I'm standing right in front of one. I think that trunk is right next to a golf course. There's a guy who's going to take a swing in a second. Come on, get that ball. You're taking too long over. Get it! That out, baby. Gardens right next to Hilo Bay, which is right on the other side of us. Bay. Right across the bay is this high-rise apartment. Very rainy day. Union Christian Church, United Church of Christ, the last time we're going to attend on March 12th, 1989. This church has just been added to us, just beautiful. There's Mom walking up to the front. And she's waving. She got a beautiful dress on. Side of the church where they added on to the back. They doubled its size and made it 400 seating capacity. There's a young Boy Scout soliciting for jamborees in front. And Mother again, going inside.
Smile. Wave. Say something. Don't just stand there. Okay, that's enough.
In the background, the new bands.
Where? How can you see him through the palms?
Former pastor and his wife, Ishahara. Blue shirt and his wife, Dorothy, to the left.
No.
Not his wife.
You're a little missionary. Yeah, little missionary. But you're not a real person, you know. Uh-huh. No, you're not a real person. You're just a doll. Yeah, a living doll. You're not a living doll, Kali-chan. But anyway, Kali-chan, a missionary, well, let's see. Let's talk about old missionaries. Yeah, like you. I may not have much hair on my head. You don't drag it out. You don't drag it out. Anyway, Kali-chan, you know, way back in the Old Testament. That far? Yeah, that far back. There was a
that are essential for living. I'd like us to pick up the story of Christ's life that week before the Passion, the Crucifixion, the Resurrection, and focus in upon the events that transpired as Christ entered the eventful final week of his earthly ministry.
Oh, we're off to the fairways, to the... Where are we headed now?
Tell them I put mine on the green, close to
Just
the
put
pin.
it on the green.
See that little white ball next to the pin there? That's
Where's the
mine.
pin? Oh,
right up there. See it?
Oh,
See it?
over there? Yeah. From Keoho Golf Club. Where is it? Kona. Just starting to record right now. A beautiful shot out toward the sea on the 13th hole.
Okay, let's go. They're waiting.
They are.
Yep. Watch them keep their eyes on the ball.
That's just the 17th hole. Across that gully. Condos along the side. March 13th, Sunday night. In the clubhouse.
Like an umbrella.
Our last day. Our last day. March 15th, 1989. Hilling's getting breakfast for us at 10 o'clock in the morning. We just got through playing tennis and we had a hard fight. She wouldn't forgive me for hitting her with the ball.
That's
and
right.
then she kept placing him on the opposite side of the court, and I had to run after him, and she really gave me a sweat. We play between 8 and 9 in the morning. This morning we started playing at 7:30 and quit about 8:45. And by the time we got through, we were sopping wet. Which
some will open like the small shop on the right on a Sunday. The majority will be closed. And the people who owned the land then sold it to the, unusual because he's standing up, living accommodation apartments around here. A few shops serving, probably noticed on our left-hand side. They will continue. The Ritz built in 1906. If you're interested in building, it was the first building in London to be built. Right in a moment, down the next street, you'll see St James's Palace, but we're going to see that later on when we come back to see a little bit of the guard change. So St James's Palace stands at the end of St James's Street on our right. And then coming up on our left, the next street on our left, Bond Street, is the most expensive street at which wood or stone. And the thing about St James's is Piccadilly Circus. And in the centre of Piccadilly Circus, the statue of Eros, which is just beyond the red pretty south of the River Thames. But you can see it's a working fountain. It's aluminium or aluminum. To the left, illuminated signs. That is Soho, but I won't go into detail as to what happened on Shaftesbury Avenue. At the far end of the Shaftesbury Avenue stands the Palace Theatre where Les Miserables is playing. Just going around the underground of Piccadilly. Of the Haymarket, two theatres. No theatres working on a Sunday, of course. Classic painting in London, open every day of the week. Our museums will either open at 2 or 2:30 on a Sunday of France and Spain. Over to our left, the little statue given to us in 1921. The church ahead of us to our left, St Martin's in the Field. At Coots, there's a daily delivery here from Buckingham Palace. I'm also assured that in Coots Bank there is a toilet that can only be used by Her Majesty the Queen. And if you come to Coots, you have to be recommended. You can't just whip in and open an account at Coots. The theatre. We're coming gradually to the end of the Strand. Working theatres in London. Also we have the Strand and the left the Aldrich Theatre. And there's a large street coming, opened in 1882 during the reign of Queen Victoria, and on our right the Wigan Pen Club now, which is the Barristers and Solicitors private club for the civil law courts. The most mile in the world for reasons that we see later. And I think because the traffic is very easy, I just asked Eric to pull over to the left here, because there's a couple of things on our left. The clock, which dates from the 1650s, and on the hour the giants strike the bells up on the left-hand side. Okay. The old offices on our left of the Daily and Sunday Telegraph, coming up the old offices of the Daily and Sunday Express, Reuters, the Press Association on the right, and our terrorist trials take place.
Cathedral.
Don't come forward, I'll tell you a bit about it before we go inside the church.
People leaving church. Some going in.
And built on one of the two natural hills in London, so a very good place to put it on. This one was started by Christopher Wren in 1675, and it took 35 years to build. Finished in 1710, when that lady behind you was on the throne, Queen Anne. Just a couple of things about Queen Anne. She was 4'8" tall. She weighed 280 pounds. When they buried her, it was in the square coffin, not a round one. And there's somebody wrote a little poem about her. She was a notorious drinker. And they said, Brandy Ann, you've left us in the lurch, you're pointing to the gin shop and your back's towards the church. She's pointing down to the old Cheshire cheese, all right? So a flattering statue of Queen Anne. This church, when Wren built it, he wanted a dome, and he got one after 3 tries with designs. From the base of the church to the top of the golden cross on top of the dome, 365 feet, 1 foot for every day of the year. But below the church there is also a crypt in which the burials take place. This is where we bury our Navy and military men. Lord Nelson lies buried under the dome. The Duke of Wellington also lies buried in the crypt. The crypt will not be open this Sunday morning for you to see, all right? The other thing which will not be open for the moment are the galleries above the dome, because you can climb up almost 300 feet at St Paul's Cathedral. So it's something you might like to do on a future visit. A couple of other things about St Paul's Cathedral. This is where the state funeral of Sir Winston Churchill took place in January 1965, and it's also the scene of the wedding between Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer in July 1981. And when royalty used the church, they opened those 2 great west doors. All right, they're not open for you this morning, I'm afraid. You make your way in through the side doors. If there is no service on, you're free to walk about and take a photograph. If there is, I obviously ask you not to do so. So if you
Inside St. Paul's Cathedral. I'm walking inside, and the statues. This is where Lady Di and Prince Charles were married.
Also where Winston Churchill was buried under the dome.
Side. Ornate, beautiful glass.
somewhere in this section. We'll follow you. Somewhere in this
And the
section.
dome. Another side road. But from which he preaches. A pipe organ. Look at that. Sir Arthur Hamilton. James White and Madam Susan White. And enjoying the view.
This place
He's
is so
blinking, so he's taking a picture in the St. Paul's Cathedral.
where Princess Di was married.
And Helen and I made love.
Yeah.
View of the front of the altar and the close-up of the dome.
Last here in Britain for about 350 years. So the remains on our right of the Roman temple of Mithras, found actually very close to the river and rebuilt here. Again, bank buildings, financial buildings all the way round. The next one, a rather clean looking building, mansion house built in 1758. And he is king in the city of London. What he built in 1840 and then enlarged in 1928. Down the little street ahead of us to the left we also have our stock exchange in the country at 600 bridges in one. The bottom bridge is a bascule bridge. It rises to allow heavy traffic and shipping into this area to the left, the Pool of London. The top bridge was a walkway bridge, so London has an amount of traffic going over the bridge. So the old bridge, which was finished in 1834, was taken down stone by stone. They were numbered. The bridge was sold for £1.33 and taken to Lake Havasu City, Arizona. To our left, that is the Tower of London. So the square tower, the four pinnacles, and the flag flying immediately to our left. That's a warship or tall-masted vessel. And the bridge has opened perfectly every time the button was pressed, apart from the opening ceremony. Prince of Wales pressed the button and nothing happened. The other incident, the bridge got halfway and the bridge started to rise up with the bus on it. Driver didn't know what to do. He put his foot down, accelerated and jumped over the bridge and landed safely on the other side. Nobody was hurt, but it didn't do the axles much good. Down to the left we've got the Belfast again, the Dome of St Paul's, the golden flame of the circular standing telecommunications tower. The City of London you can see clearly with the National Westminster Building, and just below the National Westminster Building the blue cranes of the right that we can see, and further down office accommodation, insurance accommodation, newspaper accommodation. The New Tower Hotel walls of the 14th century. It was surrounded by a wet moat which was drained in the last century. It flies the Union flag because it is still regarded as a royal palace and a fortress. It can be visited any day of the week, Tower of London, and living in there and helping you round if you wish, the Beefeaters. They don't like to be called Beefeaters, the yeomen of the guard, working members of the British Army who look after the tower for Her Majesty the Queen. A mint, home of the Astronomer Royal, a prison, a place of All Hallows by the tower. Inside the church, William Penn was baptised, John Quincy Adams lies buried. And from the tower of the church, Samuel Pepys suffered the worst of bomb damage in the Second World War. The Germans were trying to get the docks, which were just beyond us. Diversion, sorry, Eric's just telling me. We'll get back in a minute. Just look back.
River 10.
So here's the river to our left. Boats moored. The president on our left was a New Zealand sailing vessel from the First World War. She's now been bought by the Interaction, the charity group. There's a large building on our right, beyond the trees, Somerset House, built originally as a palace for the old Dukes of Somerset, but they never lived in it. The bottom part is a theological college for the University of London. The top is tax offices. It used to be, in 1951, one of the best concert halls in the world, seating about 2,900 people. Immediately on our left, 19th century, as a gift from the people of Egypt, the sister column stands in Central Park, New York. That is our Ministry of Defence on our right, the largest building in Whitehall. So we can pause on the bridge. Its roof in the 14th century.
No, we go left. We'll do right round the Abbey when we come back. Right round the square when we come back.
There's a lot in this area, so I'll talk about a few things. We're going to be coming back and around, so I'll talk them out again in a moment. There's a statue to sit on my head. 14th century. We have the Abbey on our right-hand side, the Mason's Yard of the Abbey, and the head of the 7th Chapel. The statue on our right ahead of us of George V, our present Queen's grandfather. On the Bounty, and many archbishops of Canterbury.
House of Commons on the Thames. Bridge, the view north.
they can. Formula passed down from father to son, father to son. Unfortunately, one of the codes died and didn't pass the secret on before he died, so we don't know how it's made. It is said that there's a barrel of beer inside the stomach of the lion, but we're not going to smash him up to find out. Churchill arriving drunk one day at the Houses of Parliament, being met by a lady member of Parliament who went up to him and said, "Mr. Churchill, this is the parish church for the members of the House of Commons." And it's in this little church here, of which a working Church of England church, Westminster Abbey, open every day of the week, contains the coronation chair. Must be visited. The statue on our left of Abraham Lincoln, copy of a statue that stands in Chicago. On our right, Queen Victoria's Prime Ministers, Robert Peel, who gave us the police sung Evensong, otherwise Evensong sung Monday and Tuesday, of Prime Ministers for 250 years or more. Number 10 is halfway down on the right, usually has a policeman on duty outside of it.
Number 10 down.
No, no policeman.
Number 10,
Number 10 is on the
Downing.
right, the policeman standing outside number 11, which is the home of the Chancellor of the Exchequer. So there's Downing Street. We'll just mount guard, and they have done for 300 years because this is the site of the Palace of Whitehall. We'll just pull over to the right and give you 5 minutes if you wish to cross the road and take some photographs. Then we need to get on to the guard table.
Go. These are the new ones coming out, and they're gonna go. Who's that? The guy? The guard? Or the guy?
Who knows how the guy was closing that window?
Changing of the guard at St. James Palace.
Just on the corner, the band will start to play. Right, they're ready to go? Okay. That
Ouais, non, ça donne pas du tout. Regarde les bras, ça fait mystère. Il y en a qui touchent pas. Oh non, ça donne ça. T'as vu ceux qui portent, il y en a qui... Ça donne rien. T'as vu les mecs avec les petits trucs dans le mur, c'est leur fil. Ils marchent à la grande... Ça, pour voir ça. Jurassique. Pour voir ça. Oui. Et ça,
89 years old this year. Yes, this is where Anne Boleyn built it in 1752 and a half.
The Duke of Wellington. Hyde Park is our largest park, just over 360 acres, so you get an idea of where Harrods is.
So we were last night.
Right hand side there's a roadway and then there's the mud trap. Rotten Row. It was the first circular concert hall.
Memorial to
all the
Prince
way
Albert,
around.
Queen Victoria's
Behind the
husband.
Albert Hall.
No, don't turn right, not into it.
There it is.
Harrods.
Coming up on our right, the next little street is Beecham Place, where there's a reject china shop on the corner. Silver shops, hawkershire shops down Beecham Place, a great favourite of members of the royal family to shop, the Queen Mother, Princess Margaret and the Princess of Wales. Otherwise they can shop from Harrods, of course, because again on Harrods, coats of arms of the Queen, the Duke of Edinburgh, the Queen Mother and the Prince and Princess of Wales. Not open today, Harrods, as it's a Sunday, into an elephant. They say, they won't give it to you then. There's a gentleman who decided he'd try them out. Went into Harrods, went up to the restaurant, sat down. The waitress came up, he said, I would like a cup of tea and an elephant sandwich. So she said, a cup of tea and an elephant sandwich? He said, yes. She said, just a moment, sir. She came back, she said, I'm terribly sorry, sir, we can't give you what you ordered. He said, I thought not, but why not? She said, because we've run out of bread.
Statue, is that what it is?
Therefore, on the left will be Speaker's Corner. But we will
Marble Arch.
go around the
Corner.
Now, there should be somebody on the desk for information if you need it.
Construction of buildings have a green netting around all of the buildings to prevent dust or falling through or things falling through. Very interesting. Castle.
Windsor Castle.
Right up here.
Eaton School to the left, right there.
Over there. See it with the towers? Way over? Is that where you went?
Yeah.
You can see your camera pointing that way.
That's a Buffy. To the Queen's Castle. Windsor train.
We go.
He just gave you all the history of them going on up.
Gargoyles. Yeah. Whole castle area. Windsor Castle. That's where Queen Mary visited. These are the outside walls. Getting us tickets. Our famous leaders.
The round one, he couldn't do it because the hill wouldn't take it. So almost 1/3 of one of the sides of the castle, of the round tower, is straight. It's actually Queen of Court has added to the castle throughout the Queen for nearly 900 years. The Queen and the royal family live at the far end of this ward, right at the far end in that block there. But in the 1950s and 1960s, the Queen and Prince Philip wanted to make really private apartments for themselves to use. They could simply come in and to the castle that we cannot see from here, which is the private residence of Prince Charles and the Princess of Wales. Other members of the royal family have accommodation within the block.
Eton College that was built. Eton College, I think they can hear me, was built where many of the kings were schooled. And over in the field over here, they're playing cricket, if Harold could get any of that. This is an amazing castle that we've just viewed. It's spread all over the place, and the Queen is here, but she's not coming out to visit us or greet us.
Thousands of people here today. Sunday. Windsor, we're just doing some shopping after the tour, and we're about in the center of town on a Sunday afternoon, and it is loaded with people. Queen Charlotte Street. And this is what it looks like. That of London, in a quaint little store, and right over there is the beginning of the castle, the Queen's Castle. You'll see the shop right here. Huh? Look what's coming by. museum?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, Madame Tussauds.
One last shot of Windsor. To Philharmonic Orchestra recording. James is giving us our assignment seats and walking down the line.
On my list.
Jim, our good-looking
Eyes aren't working.
choir master.
And are all of you on the 4 a.m. call Wednesday morning?
Unfortunately.
Hey, I'll just give you numbers. You can hand me the number when you come on the bus so we don't have to talk. Oh, no, they won't be.
Stage has arrived, I think we just follow them.
It's amazing how they can turn these buses.
Look at the building.
This is the Walthamstow Town Hall, what they call their opera house. Orange grapes.
Just turn all the way back.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't survive our winters in Nevada. We lost a lot. We had a very, very severe winter in northern Nevada.
We stopped. The rehearsal area, getting set up. There will be rehearsals. Whoops, somebody comes in between. Two gals waving at us from the back there. Hey, oh my goodness gracious. This is the beginning, just before the concert. We rehearsed one song. And I don't even remember doing it because the tempo is so much different from where we are. But there's our director again, standing with the concert master in the gray hair and his assistant, working out the details. The orchestra hasn't come yet, but soon will be. Now, let's see. I'm sitting next to Jim right over here somewhere. Oh, there he is, Jim and Susan. And Sue. Good luck, choir. The orchestra is almost assembled. I hope you can hear my
Sing and
two. Hey. Hello. Where do these guys go?
I got to reach the barrel so we didn't get lost. Just watch out, Harold.
Here she comes. Toodly-doo. Sing unto the Lord. Fantastic.
We're at Tottingham Hale.
We're on our way to Wimbledon. We're in, what's the little town we call this?
Sheffield.
Sheffield? Okay, there's, Susan wants some chilled banana juice. Right there.
Tell them we're on a double-decker bus.
We're on a triple-decker bus. Less one.
Not Sheffield, it's Southfield.
Suffield. Okay.
And it's about
So-
a mile, mate, to the courts.
Oh boy.
So we're taking the bus.
We're sitting in the front of the bus. Goodbye. Our way. Look at the quaint houses. Stop this. So much.
This was worth the price of it.
Italy. Holy moly. Wimbledon. Wimbledon. Wimbledon inside. People waiting for matches being played.
We're going up.
Let's go to Center Court, Hill.
We're going through, Harold.
And let's see. Jackson Bailey, Warner Micker, Justin and Bird, South District.
But they wouldn't take them back.
Submarines, 2 duchies,
John,
400 people.
85.
You're going to be a counselor there this year.
Doubles practicing. We're on our way out in the bus.
All my friends are there right now.
In the tram.
Yeah, here.
4 o'clock, Wednesday morning, on our way to Munich, and this is what we see when we get up. The sky is just getting dark, light. Can you believe it, at 4 o'clock in the morning? And I should have taken the sunset last night at, oops, there's our lamp in the background, reflecting in the window. The streets below, barely moving with cars, but they are moving with cars. Goodbye, London. Being up in the bathroom just before we're in, we're just about ready.
Bischoff, check in.
On the way to the airport.
Where in the world are we going to find our luggage?
On the bus. It's on this
5:30 p.m.
white tag.
Each luggage is on the correct coach.
A.M. Oh, forgot. Some of the countryside.
I don't need You do.
Bus. Sunset. There, we're getting some front view. Come on, everybody in. There we go. David and Irwin. Where's Irwin? There he is. Oh, I miss Mary. She's hiding behind David. Mary! Hello!
Carol! What's happening down there?
Sue. I got Sue. There she goes. There she goes. Going to board.
You guys keep an eye on these
Stansted
bags.
Airport.
Everything.
In the airport. Leading us onward, stalwart.
Bravo.
Take the bus to the airplane.
Now we put you in charge.
Another 45 miles to get to the plane before the Munich. For the Flying Dutchman. 250 people. This way, up in front of us.
However, we advise you to keep your seatbelts fastened while seated. Thank you.
Sir.
Deutsches Fräulein. Wir müssen jetzt Deutsch sprechen.
Windows, 37,000 feet. Over the channel. To the Bushman Brigade.
Wir sind jetzt in dem Munich Airport. Wir warten für unser Gestecke. Sie sagen, dass die Nummern sind beschäftigt.
Dankeschön. Viel schönes Mädchen. Patient in Munich.
Okay.
Well, you can see, well, I could see it. Wait, they just...
I got a long ways to go on this. Theme park
or overpass.
That is because
We're in a tunnel where the traffic is awfully slow.
There's an accident.
Singled down into one lane.
Taking it? Tell them we're on our way.
Run away, Oberamergau. It's in the mountains. Into Oberamergau.
You can see it. You can see where all those Grimm's fairy tales. I mean, don't you feel like you're in Grimland?
Grimland.
They even have shutters on their doors. Here's the hotel.
The hotel we're staring at. When we get eventually get there.
Picture of our hotel.
Oberamergau House. This is where the Passion Play is performed once every 5 years, 1990.
I'm sure we'll see each other.
Oh, we have to remember what happened.
Turn it off.
The stage, why don't you say it, Helen?
What did you say? Oh, this is the stage where we'll be singing. It's a music festival with choirs from Holland and Czechoslovakia and other countries, and we will be singing on 2 different nights.
Thank you very much. Stephen.
Pontius Pilate house. Look at the rocks holding the roof down. This is close to the Oberamergau house. Waiting on the street corner, watching all the boys go by. And we're on our way to the 8 o'clock devotional at the Oberamergau house. Traffic on the one-way street, two-way street, I guess. Flowers are beautiful, just beautiful. Sun's out around the cross, just below the mountain. Sky is turning blue, almost. This is directly beneath the Tetons. Tell Wolf. Center of town, but look at those magnificent flowers on the patios. All the way along the edge of the river. The Oberamergau River, and a group of people eating their lunches along the side. Erwin, Dave, Mary, Sue, Marlis, Mary, Susan, Jim, and Helen. Hotels people are staying in, and right above it is the big mountain.
Just a little today.
Doesn't Jim look good and dashing?
Above the town of Oberamergau. But Ludwig, born in 1845, became absolute king, so he was the autocrat of the Kingdom of Bavaria, as it was then, at the age of 18. He was keen on art, architecture, music, and was not a terribly good king, as eventually he was forced to abdicate. So you write out what you want to eat, you put it on the table, and it lowers down by mechanism. A little while later, it rises with your complete dinner on it. And Ludwig didn't like to dine in public. He preferred to dine alone. And although he had servants around, he is old. And Ludwig liked to go away from his castles.
That way. Ian, Graswang is a little village. Graswang.
Many of us are wondering how come there are so many Mercedes and big BMWs.
You can get them ready for 28,000 marks. So the diesel is a little bit more expensive. But then the cost is 20,000 marks. But the standard, the cheapest model.
And right at the top, as you see, the mountains closest to us as well.
Can you stop the bus?
I think you're going to see more of that.
You'll see a lot more of that.
Back toward the end of the trip, we'll feel dumb for taking this one.
Yeah.
And if I take this around like that,
Great.
People going to the Linderhof Castle. The other side of those mountains are is Austria.
Yeah, is that the one thing?
Quiet little lake. Good fishing. To Linderhof Castle. King Ludwig built it in the 19th century. This pond.
To the castle, which we're going to visit. Did you have it on?
Yeah.
Oh, with her right in.
Yeah.
She looked right into the camera.
Franklin's house. Got it. Okay, come on. Hello.
they said the same thing.
King Ludwig gonna drop a rock on us up there?
That's holding that world.
I took my, I think
What
I
is
told you,
that?
my video into the air show.
Statue coming into the entry.
Just know a bit more. The architect was from Munich. His name was Georg Vollmann. Manufactured in Aubusson in France. The paintings on the walls are an imitation of tapestry. They are painted on a rough canvas and supposed to look like tapestry. The instrument here in the corner is a combination of organ and piano. Supposedly it was built by the German composer Richard Wagner, whom Ludwig II admired. Which means that whenever the king was here, they were placed outside in front of the entrance as a sign for his presence. For the other part, plaster. The ceiling is gilded stucco.
We're walking through the cabinets.
So next we go through the lilac cabinet.
Wow.
Oh my. Look at this guy.
Watch out from here. Oh, look.
The king's bedroom.
Decorations next to bed are going with
Coming down the waterfall into his bedroom.
Stick out the wall earlier. There's some kind of cladding underneath. Weighs about half a ton. And there's lots of porcelain in this palace because the king collected porcelain.
This is the dining room where King Ludwig ate. He always did everything by himself, and he sat in here and ate by himself at this table as soon as Harold could shoot the table. The chandelier is
As I already mentioned to you at the beginning of this tour, you can visit two more buildings in the park, the Rochwell and Moorish Kiosk. And to get there, just follow the green signs in the park. It's very easy to find.
I'm not taking them, I'm taking the...
Harold and Helen in Mad King Ludwig's garden. The reason he was mad is because they were in his garden.
Oh dear. Did that on purpose.
Some Glausenmeister? A view from the other end of the pond toward the castle.
Oh, like the aliens and stuff, I'll find it. Oh, well, real mad at that.
From a different angle of those little boxwoods with lawn and flowers in between. There's an upper level. This is a view from the top.
it's like old people shooting up.
Oh my.
That's something.
And
Look at
the
our
other side of
flag.
these mountains is Switzerland. Look who's coming up the scale.
Hey, you guys, you're on again.
Our little chaplain. We're going to visit in a minute. Und meine Freunde. Okay. Come and see. Goes all the way up to the Grotto House. Grotto House? Well, I can get inside. Satan's pit. I don't know what it is.
And then we did lava.
Leaves on the wall with lights.
They say it's
Inside. So it's a flashbulb.
And then the
inside the grotto. Tapestry on the wall.
You're 16, going on 17. Remember the good old days? The back side of the castle.
Okay. No. So, we're great.
Straight across.
We'll pop in the picture as soon as spontaneous. Yeah. No, I only have one picture left, and I can't say that for
Oh, look who's way down there. All the way down to Sue. Who's next to Sue? Bonnie, Marlis, Jim, Susan, Callan, Karen.
Karen, say hi.
Hello. James.
Yogurt today.
Mary. There she is. She was hiding behind Bonnie. Sitting on the park bench. There goes Jim.
You're sitting where?
On the park bench. On Friday, the 30th Tag of Juni.
I've got on my white.
If someone really is in Oberamergau, you know,
Slow traffic.
Did you hear?
home, and that's only about
Church at the
350
hillside.
kilometers. Put them out of the church.
With the sound of
I guess there was nothing in the station. Then we had a church. But now,
Amma River, looking down it.
What's the name of the river?
Palmer.
Amma River. Ian died.
again, but not in 75 meters, so 150 meters. Big 450 meters. That's the limit.
That's that he built. It's less decorated than Linderhof. It's built in the older Romanesque and Byzantine style, so it's a lot simpler. 18th century. So he did keep a great eye on it. And by 1873, the opening gateway of the castle was finished. Then he stayed there for long periods, still looking and helping the builders. He was getting on there. And Ludwig took him to another part of the valley to look down on the castle, and suddenly, as they were looking at it, the whole castle was lit up entirely.
He cannot shoot so much he wants, so he has to ask this forest. Or I buy a gun somewhere. Illegal, you know, because
We're
I must
still
first,
several miles
if I
from
wish
it.
to buy a gun, I must ask on the government
Built by King
they give me a
What is the name of the castle now?
and here
There's
is
the little one his father built.
skiing season, or let's say winter season around.
Castle is itself 3,000 feet high. Fine.
You in line?
For the bus.
Want to see some days work? Which way was it?
But look at the people walking down the hill. Hey, I got to catch up with them. Another view. Where we came from. What's the name of the lake? Inside the fifth floor in the castle. And the bridge. And the mountain. Take pictures inside, so this is one of the views of the courtyard we came in on. View from the castle.
That's a great view right there.
Another view of the king's father's castle.
Just went through this castle. There's 4 stories, and there were
6 stories.
6 stories, but some weren't finished, so we didn't go through them all. But I forgot how many stairs that we went. See that round thing? Those are stairs going up and around and around and around.
Oh, PDF, OC, PDF, OC, PDF, OC, PDF, OC.
It's on. I'm going to go up. I'm going to take you first. Say hi.
Hi.
Tip your hat. There's the castle that we just came down. It's a 20-minute walk, winding trail coming down. This is so beautiful. Germany is my kind of country.
Genau. Und die Dame zu den Eins.
Come on, take the first bite.
Take the first bite, Bonnie.
There she goes. Bonnie mit der Strudel. Oh, look at that.
An interesting pair on the way back from Lichtenstein.
Saturday market. There's Mom.
Are you talking?
He models it. He makes the clay model first, and then he models it from the clay. With flowers decorating the lanai, and look at where they store the wood.
Make a design out of it as they store it.
You know, and the beautiful flowers in front.
See the cutout work up on top of the windows? It's a rooster and
Where?
up on top, way up on top, rooster and then a peacock.
Yes, on the rooster.
Did you tell them this is like our Saturday market at home? This happens once a year.
No, I haven't. Well, there's the rooster. Come along with the little children.
Two of the natives
Native
here,
chipmunk.
Germany.
Isn't that cute? What do we have here?
It's a Sparkasse. The clown up on top. Oh, did you see that flip?
Yeah. Right at our hotel. I'll get a hotel picture in a little bit. Go ahead. Hotel where we were staying, Hotel Little Park. Jimbo waiting for his mama.
And at the market, and this is the carving that the man started this morning, and this is how far he's gotten. Excellent carving.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's a bunch of kids in it. We're in a little strudel park, a little area where Helen finally got her strudel, and look at her go. Take another bite. Oh, there goes the pounds. Oh, boy. Not be much to look at, but this is the outside of the Oberamergau Passion Playhouse, where the Passion Play is put on every 10 years. It'll be on next year.
As the mayor of the community of Oberamergau, I would like to welcome you, the visitors of this final concert, which takes place on the occasion of the 6th International Church Music Festival, and the participants of this final concert on behalf of the community of Oberamergau. Ladies and gentlemen, the first International Church Music Festival was carried out in Portsmouth, England in 1984. The next places of performance.
Applaud our people from Oberamergau.
Salsburg.
Sweet drive.
Turn cool. And I said, you know, I hope you don't mind, but he is a projectile vomiter. And they all went, oh, duck. Okay.
We're now in Austria.
We're done.
We just passed the border from Germany into Austria, Salzburg, and we hope to...
With Germany, and he lost. It was about the control of salt, which is the main revenue for the Prince Archbishops. And also Salzburg has been described into the town. So again, we'll be on our feet. You need to take everything you need or think you will need through the walking tour, which will take us through the streets to Mozart's birthplace. The horses, castle up to your right.
Bathe the horses here. This is not the old town of Salzburg. This is the newer. We're approaching
The castle in Salsburg from the corner of one of the downtown streets.
Original wedding church of the Van Drapps. So this is where they really had their wedding, because in the movie they used for the interior a church in Monte and for the facade the cathedral. So this is why I wanted to bring you over here and show it to you, because you see it here the last time. From the other side of the town you don't see it. So that because he had reopened the salt mines in the vicinity. When I say reopened, it means they have been known before, and they have been known before by a Celtic tribe called the Alans, and the Alans gave the city the name Juvavia, which means the settlement underneath the sky of gods. Then the Romans took the name and twisted it a little bit around and made Juvavum out of it when they came. And they came here 15 after Christ and stayed for not quite 500 years, approximately 500 years they stayed here. And then after the Romans, there was a vacuum. Some eastern tribes were sweeping through, also Bavarians. And then finally in 696, or around 700, the city was founded by Holy Rupert. And he reopened the salt mines again, that the cells already present. And also our Palace of Justice at the same time. This is St. Cajetan's Church, Munich. And he was called via Munich to Salzburg to construct two churches. We are walking in this direction.
The mayor's building in the town square. I think. Taking the tour downtown streets. Downtown streets. Look at how narrow the streets are. Shops on both sides.
A church in Salzburg.
I got that. To be the spokesperson.
Okay, Helen, you tell us what it is.
Look at the people in the window. Look at that. Town square. The statues. Restaurant. Oh, in Jimbo.
It's called the New Building. And it's called the New Building because he built it after the residence. The residence is this building on the right side, in this direction. So he first started this one, then
Town square.
and Medici. And here we have the Medici Ball in Salzburg. The whole town of
Behind it. To the cathedral.
always competing my voice. They're always in the same have a character. So I'm very glad you could finish the cathedral for Paris Le Grand, the one who built the fortification wall. He finished it. On the left side, that's our
discuss going on in the square.
Is there someone playing? I haven't seen any move.
Yard.
Another courtyard.
Another one. Thousands of people.
Look at the castle up there.
Down below the castle, the fortress. Salsburg.
Oh, is he moving? He moved.
Part of the area where the Von Kapps hid in the movie. In the inner court area. They lay the people, the dead people, of course, one on top of the other. I noticed that one, 1987. Building is built against the rock hillside.
That's the other cemetery opposite the river that was more or less initiated.
Notice, built 1491 entrance. Notice some of them built right into the rock. And the rock goes up to the sky. Inside another courtyard and building right up against the rock.
Pharmacy in the world for special horse diseases in 1605, and he also had in there
To the festival house where Toscanini performed.
South the festival house is a house in the same colors that the old university. It was founded in 1623 under the rule of
Mozart's house.
Short lifetime, Mozart died at the age of 35 in 1791 in Vienna.
I think she said he lived on the third floor. Unbelievable. Sunday afternoon. Window design. Passageways every few feet leading into shops, restaurants. We're having a bite to eat.
Mozart Square.
Mozart Square. Right now. Harold and Helen taking in the sights of the Bavarian Alps on their trip from Salzburg to Innsbruck.
What is this, Harold?
Those Christians, you never can trust them. Let's see if I can get some pictures in there. Also, 16th century. For family
16th century castle. To Innsbruck.
Wednesday we go back north.
Relax and rest. Now, what's my...
You would have only read your thing before you left.
I'm glad I didn't.
You probably wouldn't have come.
Flowers, fresh flowers. Just like
Innsbruck, 23 kilometers to go.
One there, down there, too.
Population about 120,000. Altitude is about 1,800. on the way down to Italy. If you've looked at your maps, you'll realise, of course, what we've done is a U, really, starting at Oberamergau, going to Salsburg, coming back on ourselves and landing at Innsbruck. If we drove north, we'd come to Oberamergau again, just over the Austrian border. He erected the famous Golden Roof. The Golden Roof is in the centre of the old town, but you have to walk to it. It's the only way to get to it, but you'll have time to walk through tomorrow morning to see the celebrated Golden Roof. It's really the city symbol. Maximilian wants to be buried in Innsbruck, then he had problems, and he was angry because the city holders would not pay him the debts that they owed him. So eventually he built his mausoleum here, which is a wonderful piece of Renaissance work, but he never actually was buried here. But you can actually visit There's the ski jump.
Oh, yes. 1964 and 1976 Olympics. Oh, okay.
So we come back around.
A view from out of our hotel window at Innsbruck and listen to the caroling bells. Rainy, foggy. Gee, this is Monday morning.
Huh?
This is Monday morning.
In Innsbruck.
Innsbruck, yes, Innsbruck. The famous church steeples all over. This is the Palace Lawn Shop.
Is this their home?
This one. One of the buildings in Innsbruck. It's raining.
Old town. The busy section.
Is that what you're...
Old town. Really? Look at the design on those buildings. Gold leaf roof, flowers on the windows. And a big steeple. Streets leading to building areas. All the shopping areas are made. We just came down at 9 o'clock in the morning. Our bus leaves at 9:30 for Lucerne. Old world architecture. I'm spending my good money. Can't get away from a store, Jim. I'm sunk. 500 shillings. Whee. What is it called?
It's just an arch that leads into the old town of Innsbruck.
Rainy day, Lord. On the way to Lucerne.
Okay, so we're going to...
You missed it.
In the midsection.
Waited too long.
That'll come out looking nicely. Great picture.
River down below.
Oh, look at...
I know.
Well,
Log cabin.
Jewelers side. Another church on the
Here's a cabin with a sleigh in it.
Here's a whole bunch of these.
Get the train, wait.
There's the train.
Get the train.
Oh, look at the... Sure. You notice the stars?
Look at the way they stack the hay. Farmers stack the
The ventilator for the tunnel to our right.
flowers all along the way. Ventilator for the tunnel. There's an 8-mile-long tunnel. We're not going through it. We're climbing.
For itself. Area, about 32,000 square miles. 32,500 square miles make up Austria. The country itself is shaped like a club in shape, so it's not longer one side than it is the other.
This is what we would have seen. Went on. Okay? Isn't it beautiful?
How about the flowers? Aren't they lovely? Getting the mountains.
Yeah, they're coming up. Beautiful lake scene. Beautiful scene.
Sorry.
Okay. On the road to Lichtenstein.
Where the Prince of Lichtenstein lives. You gotta take it sideways.
No, it's a 5 to...
They're going that way.
Lichtenstein. That's as close as I can get of the shopping area. People on the
Go
street.
ahead, you two. Go ahead. Yeah, we'll take you as you're walking around. Mary and Dave.
Inside the club. So we have just eaten. Helen's enjoying her little bit of smoothie. No, it's not a pub, it's a restaurant.
You're in the wrong country.
Outside, the water is really coming down.
They wanted to make us feel at home, so.
Oh, just getting into Switzerland. And
Thank you. I love it.
Thank you.
Balls coming down here.
Another exciting trip from Lichtenstein. To Innsbruck, Harold and Helen taking in the beautiful scenery and sights on the way. Their once-in-a-lifetime trip.
Oh no. Oh, isn't that beautiful? There we got it. Oh, it is so pretty. See the train way in the distance? Sure enough. Yeah, it's going through. It's just like a toy train. Yeah. It's at the end of the lake. Look at that. Oh. There. He's looking.
Hillside country. Beautiful.
Set our luggage on through to... Are you sure you're not getting my head in there?
One assumes that all the legends of...
Electric one.
Have you ever gone around Europe on one of those printers?
Not around Europe.
That's not your thing. I would think... Or couldn't get off fast enough, or...
You have to be there. Just fine, mate.
Well, and there are lines in the way.
A view outside our window in near Lucerne. Good morning, Jim.
Wayne? Morning, Harold.
Which way? Looks like it's going to be a nice day.
Up, straight up.
Hi, how
Yeah.
you doing, Dorothy?
Fine, thank you.
What a view, huh?
Isn't this something else?
Can you see the mountains over here, Harold?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's spectacular. Our park goes around.
Gotta lean out over the patio a little bit for this. That's another view. I'm leaning outside the next door patio. I'll catch it later.